Hey guys, Wade Carter here. Got another Sprinkler Tech All-Stars moment for you. I just left a client's house and I was pretty frustrated, and I was not going to give her a quote for what she was asking for. And why would I go to somebody's house, spend 30, 45 minutes talking with them and not give them a quote, not tell them what it's going to cost to make a repair? I'm going to explain that to you. Just hold on. It's going to take about 10, 15 minutes and we're going to get to the bottom of it. Number one, I got a technician going over to a client's home and he's meeting the homeowner, and she takes him around to the side of the house and flips open the lid of the manifold, and there's a shattered PVC component. And my technician says, well, we need to activate the water. I need to see what's going on. And she won't let him inside the house. She goes downstairs, turns the water on, won't let him inside to have a look at the plumbing orientation, says, hey, just wait here. Comes outside, turns the water on, the valve box quickly floods with water. She says, how much is it going to cost to fix that? Then she's taking my technician around the yard, and there's a bunch of broken sprinkler heads and a bunch of crap going on. And my tech isn't real sure what to do because this particular technician has only been working with me for a couple of weeks, so it's to be expected. And our client is very much in control of the pace of the service call. So my technician gets on the phone with me. It's like, hey, Wade, what should I do in this situation? I was trying to offer him some help, some tips. And she overheard my technician talking with me. And so she kind of hijacks the phone call and starts directly talking to me and asking some questions. How long have you been a service technician? She was asking my tech. And my tech's like, well, this is my second week, but all I do is irrigation work. And so she's throwing my tech under the bus on the phone with me. Wade, this is a significant plumbing problem that we have. I'm mad that you didn't send somebody with more experience to try to solve whatever the heck is going on here. And I'm like, sure, I get it. All right, you're upset about that. Let's talk on the phone. And I quickly realized that over the phone that this isn't going to go well, that I've got to have a conversation with her in person. So I looked at my schedule, looked at my watch. I was like, you know what? 20 minutes, I can be there. So I told my technician, Eric, just hang tight. I'm on my way. I let our client know, Esther, I'm on my way. So I get on site, and Esther meets me at the door, and she says, okay, let me show you. And she walks us through the house really quickly, flips open the lid of the valve box, and she's pointing to a broken manifold fitting. Now, I can probably tell her exactly what that price is going to be to make that repair. But if I do, I'm screwing up big time because I haven't talked about enough stuff for her to perceive the value. If I add up that's going to be 4 level 7s and an excavation charge, and boom, here's your number, she's going to be like, okay, see you later. And I know better than that. And I know I'm not ready to give her a price yet. So I said, hey, let's get inside the house. I need to have a look at your plumbing orientation, see what all we're working with here. That way we can make sure that it wasn't a cause of or a concern or a variable, an unknown variable, and what it's going to take to get it fixed. So we go inside the house, and really, guys, I'm just going inside the house because I need opportunity and time to talk to this client so that she can fully perceive the value of what's going on. So we go inside the house, and I was blessed. I was blessed by something. I was blessed with an amazing thing that I saw. It was the biggest homeowner DIY train wreck in the mechanical room I've ever seen. Well, I take that back. Maybe not ever, but it was significant. So the previous owner, what they had done is they had tapped into the sprinkler supply, the dedicated 3/4-inch copper line going to the outside of the house to feed the Febco 765 and downstream control valve components. They had tapped in a T and installed 2 control valves and a sprinkler timer inside the mechanical room. Number one, there's no pressure vacuum breaker, no cross connection protection. It's not to code, not good. Number two, these are diaphragm control valves that get stuck open all the time, and they are tied to 1/4-inch distribution tube that is ran through the house. And all I can surmise is that the previous homeowner must have had some sort of an automated houseplant watering system, which, by the way, guys, is an absolutely terrible idea. If those control valves stick open, you're going to have a flood inside the home because nothing is there to turn it off. And we had hardwood floors, drywall, all kind of crap inside this house. for all the reasons that you would never want to install an automated irrigation system inside of your house, it was the stupidest thing that could possibly be there. So it was a lot of fun to talk a lot of crap about that. And that homeowner was like, but we had our home inspection done. And I was like, yeah, the home inspector isn't an irrigation professional. They're making sure nothing's leaking and dripping, maybe. And what does that mean when they say everything's fine? Does that mean that it's installed correctly? Or do they know the plumbing code? Do they know cross-connection protection? So I took this idea that we just bought this house 2 years ago, and I had to like decimate this idea because everything's wrong at this property. And so I did. I took time doing that. And in that conversation, I'm starting to learn a little bit more about my customer. One is, it's not even her house. She's the mother-in-law. It's her son-in-law's house, and she's there to make sure that he does the right thing. And so I read the writing on the wall real quick, guys, and I'm like, number one, I'm not even talking to a decision maker. Number two, it seems kind of like she's meddling. Number three, she wants to have control of everything going on. And I had to take back control of the service appointment by getting permission to go inside the basement and talk about the plumbing orientation. So bottom line is we spent about 20, 30 minutes talking about the plumbing orientation inside the house, why you don't want to have control valves watering house plants inside your home, why it's not a good idea to do anything without a cross-connection protection device because the potable water inside your home is at risk of a backflow or contaminated vent. Then I went outside, and that's when it occurred to me. I'm not giving her a price for this manifold rebuild. And so I had to give her a choice. I said, look, I can't see everything going on in the ground right here. Obviously something is broken. To what degree is everything broken? I don't know, but this is what I know. You have to pay me a level 4 excavation charge to dig this entire valve box up and expose all the components right here, or else I can't quote the job. Now, could I actually quote the job? Well, yeah, maybe I could assume the worst and give her the biggest number possible and kind of scare her off with that. But she's not serious about getting a number. She's not serious about having this work performed. So what am I going to do? What does the Bible say? Don't cast your pearls before swine. It's not a good idea for me to quote it for her. Number one, it's not her house. She's not the decision maker. She's collecting estimates for her son. Her son's not here to talk with me about the different circumstances and options and ways that a repair can be made. So I told her, you have to pay me a level 4 excavation charge. I'll dig everything up and then I'll know exactly what's going on and I can give you a price. And that's going to cost $199 plus the dispatch fee that got me out here to your house for $89. So for $298, I'll find out exactly what's going on, or $288. I'll find out exactly what's going on with the sprinkler system and I'll be able to give you a quote. And she said she wasn't willing to pay that. Well, guys, you think if she's not willing to pay a $199 excavation fee to fully understand the scope of all the damage to her components? By the way, anybody that makes that repair is going to have to do the same thing. They're going to have to dig it up. That she's prepared to receive an estimate for what's likely to be thousands of dollars to repair the components of her main line? That's what I'm saying. You have to pick your battles. And I looked at this situation and I was like, this is a losing battle. I'm not going to be able to deliver to her the amount of value that she needs to receive for her to make a decision. So I'm going to give her a choice to bail out on the work order. If she didn't pay me $199 to dig up that box, we weren't doing anything. And you know what? She says she's not doing it. So we collected our $89 dispatch fee and we moved on. So the moral of the story is, don't quote every repair that you see. You need to be pragmatic with your time. Give the customer something that they have to incrementally say yes to before you move on with additional work. Nothing is more frustrating than a service technician spending hours quoting an elaborate renovation or repair just to have a client say, oh, we're moving next month. Okay, well, crap. I wish I would have found that information out a long time ago. So the moral of the story is, if you don't know exactly what's going on, don't quote entire jobs, and definitely don't blow it early on the work order. Give the client, make them say yes to something to incrementalize the work order, charge a $199 excavation fee, dig it up. Even if you think you know what it's going to cost to fix it, even if you know the worst case scenario, probably make the customer authorize the $199 excavation, dig it up so that you have opportunity to present value to your client and to eliminate variables. So don't quote every job that you get. And sometimes give them a gate, give them a reason to say no, and don't quote the job at all. I was not going to quote Esther the manifold repair, no matter what. Hey, hope that helps, guys. That's a tip of the day. See you next time.